Welcome to. I almost said the other thing. It's 30 with Karen and Justin. And this is a fun one because it is a reunion of sorts.
Yeah.
This is something that is near and dear to me. We had a little bit of a brainchild that Ryan and I created a while ago called The Underground with Ryan and Justin. And this was our podcast that we started during COVID. And we did hundreds of like 100 and some odd episodes. We had thousands of streams, and it was very popular within the community in Burlington and so on. And we are back with Ryan and Justin.
What's up, bud?
Hey, what's up, bud? Yes. I love it. I love it. But yeah, so our guest today, pretty self-explanatory from my point of view, but I'll just give you a quick breakdown. We have Ryan and Michele Moore, brother-sister combo, family business run called the Burlington Pond Hockey Training Facility. And been around since 2000. They just celebrated their 25th anniversary, which is pretty amazing.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
invited.
that's great.
Yeah, I was invited,
Wow.
but I couldn't go because of Ethan's hockey.
You missed a party.
Yeah, right. I heard.
It was
I
a
heard.
good party. Yeah.
Missing for
but
hockey is always acceptable.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. What's cool about this though is that they've built this business for, I think Greg, your dad, built this business to allow you guys to skate, right? That was how it kind of came from, like literally the backyard pond to making this business, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Yeah. So I would every year. So in 2000, we broke ground on the construction here. My dad broke ground in 1999, and the business opened in 2000 to the public. But every year, my dad would build a backyard rink. And some years the rink would be smaller, some years the rink would be bigger. And he just noticed my personal development in skating and hockey just because I had access to that ice and that training. He was always a hockey coach in Burlington and the area. He would run hockey schools at the city rinks and got pretty popular. And then he would take those teachings and apply them to myself in the backyard rink. He saw the development and he got the idea to open a business. So before he opened the pond, nothing like this really existed. And so he got a real estate agent, found two empty warehouses side by side, and there were a lot of people out there that told him he was crazy and that it wouldn't work. But he always reaffirms that he didn't believe that. He knew what he was doing. He believed it would work, and we watched him work extremely hard to get this off.
And I can attest to that, because when Greg knows and thinks something is real and right, it's real and right. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so give me a little background on you guys. So Michele, you were a Canadian figure skating, that was how you started out.
Yeah.
Where did you go with that, and how did it transition to hockey?
Yeah. So the same thing, backyard rink. I would just go out, play my Disney tunes, and I would do choreography and skate. And it was like I was in my own like magical ice show.
That's cool.
And so that's what really developed my love for the sport. And again, our parents just fostered that. So I still have yet to play a hockey game myself. So that's one thing. Like now, when my kids get a little bit older, I do want to join a women's league.
Cool.
That's like a little bucket list thing.
Someone's going to be headhunting Michele Moore out there, I'm sure.
No, because my hands are terrible. I got to get better with my hands.
I always say, though, if she were to do it, her skating is so good that if you're headhunting her, good luck catching her.
Good luck catching. Exactly.
Can't hit, but you can't catch.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. So long story short, I ended up going to 9 national championships as a single skater. And then when I retired from single skating, the national synchronized skating team asked me to join their team. And I did that for 2 years. And that was a really fun transition out of like an extremely competitive sport by
Mm,
myself to going
mm,
then to a team atmosphere. And what was awesome was we traveled the world. I got to experience Europe, which I had never experienced before. And we had like two unbelievable coaches that really taught us the art of skating. Like synchro, you don't jump. They do now, but we didn't back then. We did more like it was like ice dance, so more
mm.
edges and whatnot. And so it really honed in um my knowledge of like the blade and how it and your balance on your blade and how to flow and push and whatnot. So did that, won a world championship in that. We were the first Canadians to ever do that. So that was really cool. Because of that, I got inducted with that team to the Skate Canada Hall of Fame. So that was really neat. And then I was kind of like, okay, I think I'm good. And my dad at the time said, why don't you just come on the ice and work with these hockey players? And so I started doing, and I started with the low beginners, just doing some power skating, some just learning the side of hockey. And then the benefit that I had is Ryan and my dad then taught me the little nuances of how to hold the stick properly, where the stick should be, and how to skate like a hockey player versus coming on the ice as a figure skater and teaching them to skate like figure skaters. Cause that's so
Totally different.
yeah. So I had to bridge the gap between figure skating and hockey and my knowledge on the ice and as a figure skater and how it can relate and help these hockey players.
And why? So speak to that really quickly. So what is that connection, and why is it that, for example, we've heard other names over the last 10, 15 years of big hockey teams like I think the Leafs and other people using figure skaters to teach their players how to skate.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important? Why are they using that specific style of skating and that specific style of teaching?
It's not so much the style of skating because hockey players don't skate graceful like figure skaters, right?
No, they don't.
Not
But
at all.
no. But it was the number of hours, what I believe, it's the number of hours. It's like we studied how to skate. We literally studied, like we would get marked on how quiet we were on the ice. We would get marked,
Wow.
you do your jump and you're marked on the entrance and the exit of the jump and how well.
Oh,
Yeah. So you have your base mark. And if you have really good flow and speed coming out of the jump, then you get bonus points for that.
you're talking
Whereas
about
in,
how quiet you land almost?
well, and like the flow out, like if you're landing really heavy, you're
Hard,
going to come
yes.
to abrupt stop.
Yes.
So for example, in a quick start, we don't want to be stomping our feet into the ice. We want to be gripping the ice properly. So there's, and like how to manipulate your foot in your boot and what part of the blade you want to be on affects how you skate. So when you want to be quick, you want to be more in the front of the blade and have more grip. So if this is my blade, I want to be more here. But when I want to glide, I want to be more middle of the blade, more of the flat part where I can get more glide. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
To
yeah.
build on what she's saying, in figure skating, you have to be as efficient as possible with your skating. And so a lot of those efficiencies can get easily translated over into hockey skating, so that every stride, every movement is maximized. They have to produce enough power to lift themselves off the ice, spin 3 times in the air, and then land it. So when you translate that expertise and that efficiency into hockey skating, there's massive benefit.
Yeah. And I think what they're seeing in, if you talk about the NHL or AAA, OHL, all these high level players growing up, the game is only getting faster. So that's where these NHL teams and high end like OHL teams are now hiring skating coaches, local, like the organizations around here, they're hiring skating coaches because they need their teams to skate faster. Then you marry that with the puck skills, and then you try to have a fast player who can compute everything and also have the hands. But a lot of it, like we talked about earlier today with like deking, it's not only about what you're doing with your hands, but it's your weight transfer and how you're moving on the ice.
And it's another thing about it, Michelle isn't teaching figure skating on the ice. I think you
Right.
touched on that. She is teaching full on hockey on the ice, hockey skating on the ice. She's just taking it from a different lens than a hockey coach would view it. So it gives that different perspective and that different level of expertise that just helps build that foundation, that solid foundation to find success in hockey.
The idea of connecting the skating with the hockey with the actual stick handling and things like that reminds me of something that has been drilled into my brain from standing next to the rink when you guys are teaching my kids, which is, what do we always tell them? Don't let the puck slow you down.
Yeah.
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 Is that the most important part of hockey?
Of hockey, don't let the puck slow you down. I would say the most important, that is one of the most important. I would say the most important part of hockey is the little things. There's a big picture, there's a big goal that you want, but those little details, you put enough of those little details together and the big thing takes care of itself.
It's like any sport, right?
Yeah.
It's like life. It's
True.
It is.
It's true.
We are
It's
teaching
very
life
true.
skills, and that's
It's-
what's very rewarding. Like when we,
Yeah.
like,
It's just,
yeah.
So
That's
I was a competitive rower, and
Okay.
it was the same thing, when we got into, we had to do 1,000 meters at 32 strokes a minute. And so it wasn't the major stroke, it was the little things. It was,
Mhm.
Like
oh
adding,
my God.
yeah, yeah.
And that's what our coach taught us constantly, you've got to become part of that boat. So you've probably got to become part of that hockey stick and that puck and that, everything is one. And we were
Yeah.
considered as one unit
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
that blade, right?
Mhm.
Well, there's
Yeah.
multiple functions going on at once. You have to
Yeah.
move
Oh, it's
yourself
huge.
forward.
I think they said there was an Olympic single guy who taught me down in Philadelphia. And it was interesting because he said the most important thing is that you have to remember there's only 147 little things that you have to remember. And I said, I quit and I fell
Yeah.
into the water and I swam back to the dock. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No, but it's combining multiple things. That's the one thing about, like, when you think about baseball, I'm swinging a bat
mhm.
and then I'm running, and those are independent things, right? I'm throwing a ball. That's an independent thing. In
Mhm.
hockey, you have to worry about, I mean, it's hard enough as it is for people that don't know how to skate to stand up on your skates.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
you have to worry about a puck and a stick and moving
Yeah.
that puck around. And you also have to know what's going on around
The
you to
pressure
understand
behind
what,
you, yeah.
what to do with the puck. Or if you don't have the puck, you have to understand where to be
Where to be.
when you don't have the puck.
Yeah.
Ha! It's
Well,
a very chaotic sport.
And I always use the example, a player like Connor McDavid
Mm.
and a fourth line player in the NHL.
Mm.
They go in the corner together. Okay. That Connor McDavid and that fourth line player are very similar in talent level. They are very similar in talent level. The difference of why Connor McDavid is Connor McDavid and the fourth liner is the fourth liner is Connor will do all those little details perfectly. He will add up those little details, and that one detail missed by the fourth liner is where Connor will beat you,
Yeah, he'll take advantage.
and he'll take
And-
advantage of that.
One other thing I just wanted to quickly add is what's really cool is I've worked with players, we've worked with players, and they've come when they start skating more efficiently and skating faster and getting into the corners, getting out, they've told us that the game has slowed down in their mind. So being
Mm.
able to skate.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so this is something that, like, it's like a big selling point, especially with these NHLers, because all of a sudden they're like, oh, I can see more.
Time and space.
Oh, I can see more.
Interesting.
Now I have time to make my decision. I'm not scrambling in my
Yes.
mind because I'm stuck in with pressure on me and I see another guy and like your brain, it's like that anxiety. Whereas if they can get in and out, now I can look and I can make my decision. And
Yeah.
that's
This is a function of another thing too, though. It's one thing to learn those things and to learn the effort or the things that you teach, like all the little things.
Mhm.
But it's another thing to continue to practice them over and over again
Yeah.
until they become second nature to a point where you can put all
It
those
does
things
slow down.
together without thinking about it, which allows your brain the time to
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
moment to be able to do other things. What you do is you create the template to say, here's the things, just keep doing these things over and over and over and over and over and over
Yeah.
again, and the rest of it will fall into place. And to your point, I think the difference between a Connor McDavid and the fourth liner again is, and not to say that the fourth liner doesn't have as much practice, but his ethic for doing the effort. Like we talk about Roy Halladay for these things. We talk about Sidney Crosby
Yeah.
being at the rink, the last one to leave, the first one to be there. Those are the kids and the guys that are able to string all those things together in a way, right?
Well, yeah, talent, success is not the product of talent. Success is the product of resiliency and consistency. The ability to hit that wall and know if I keep pushing, that wall is eventually going to break down. That consistency, sticking with it. There's no such thing as failure, only results. What you do with those results is what matters. So that's something too that we get a lot of kids that will get down on themselves. And I'm not doing it right. I can't do it. You know, whether, you know, if you tell yourself you can, or if you tell yourself you can't, you're right. So tell yourself you can, and I will figure this out. And we're here to help you do that.
It's
But
so funny because I
just want to say
go
something.
ahead.
Their
Yeah.
parents are obviously not reading That Little Train That Could. Do you?
My
That was
dad,
our, that was
my dad's favorite book.
was our like book growing
I
up.
read that constantly.
Yeah.
The Little Train That
The little
Could.
engine, yeah.
There-
The little
there's-
engine that
There's two books our dad will always say are his favorite books. One is Think and Grow Rich,
Mhm.
and the other is The Little Train That Could. Or sorry, The Little Engine That Could.
The Little
And-
Engine That Could, yeah.
And a little small known fact is that our father actually did write a children's book that teach kids how to persevere, it's called The Best From Within. And it teaches kids how to train, how to visualize, how to have a dream, and then how to chase that dream.
Oh,
That's very
amazing.
cool.
So
Anyway,
we've
you
had
could-
that.
Justin,
We've
I
had that in
interrupted you.
us, so.
No, that's I don't even know what I was going to say, but I'll transition to another thing here quickly because I feel like there's an opening for this. You know, we talk about the pond opening, you know, in 2000. Back then it was a different time. I remember when I think about sport, and the greatest example of this I can give you is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods came along and just dominated because of his effort, his talent, or whatever, but also the amount of training and breakdown of his swing and all the things he went through to learn that. And it really changed the game from, you know, the fat beer drinking guys to like all these guys that are now built and strong and really good. And hockey and baseball, we hear the same stories where, you know, the guys were smoking in the change room in between periods. And, you know, like the guy that had the no hitter on Quaaludes in baseball, like for the Mets or whatever, you know what I mean? Like all those things that happened in the 80s and 90s that would never happen today. But what I wanted to point out here, and I wanted to kind of let you guys explain, is we've now taken training to a digital level and being able to use digital, you know, things to be able to allow you to know more and build down. So the last time, and I'll let you go with it when I say that, after I say this, the last time we were with you last year at the end of, or sometime in the earlier this year, you had someone with a camera filming my kid. And then you were like breaking down with little lines on his body, like how his movements were and all these things to perfect those movements to allow him to move his body a little bit more this way for efficiencies. How has technology like that changed your training and your implementation of your training?
And has it worked?
Yeah.
Why you take that one?
Okay. So going back to my skating days, we trained like that. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So there was a VCR. They would roll out this big, like, I don't know, look like a closet. They would open the doors. There'd be a TV, VCR, like record, you press record, and then there was like, you know, like the handheld cameras on a tripod, and the coach would record you doing your jump and do the same thing where they would rewind and whatever, they'd freeze it and they'd say, see here, you're dropping your shoulder. So when you drop your shoulder, now you're going into the air sideways. So no wonder why you're falling. We got to keep you here. So you got to take off and keep your shoulder strong, your hips strong. And so like for me, it's been around forever. Now there's been, because of the iPad and because of the new technologies, there's been these coaches apps that have come out where now I use the iPad, we use our phones, we use whatever. And we can do the same thing, but now we can draw on the screen. So
Yes.
we have an app on the iPad, and we record like a quick start, a first 3 steps, and then we also have footage of either our own players that can do it extremely well, and you can put like a side by side, or like if I'm watching a game at home and I see something, then I will pause the game, I'll go up and I'll record the TV, or I can log in on the back end. I have a access to that where I can like go find that time in the game, and I can pull it, I can clip it, I can save it, and then I have it. So we start now a library of like the professional players doing something really well, and we can show our players, and then
Yeah.
they can try to
Yeah.
copy that.
And it's a double-edged sword with technology in general. It allows the sharing of ideas and instant feedback. So in sport, we can use that so that we see Connor McDavid again. We'll use that example again. You see him do something, we can instantly take that video in 4K, break it down into slow-mo, step by step, frame by frame, break down how did he do that.
Yeah.
And then now I can share that across the world in 1 second.
Yeah, you can find like Instagram accounts that do that. The other cool thing about it is it's the mind. Like I'm a very visual learner, and it's probably because of how I grew up in skating. But like you can be talking till you're blue in the face saying, drive your knee more, and the kid doesn't do it. Then you show them a video of them, and then they're like, oh, and you're like that. So what you look like and what you feel are 2 totally different things. So when they see themselves, they might feel, like the comfort zones type of stuff that we talk about too. Like in order to get where you want to be, you got to get out of your comfort zone. They have to be willing to do it. And sometimes seeing it is all they need, because they go, okay, that looks better. It doesn't feel great, but I'm doing the right thing, push through it. And then it becomes natural.
Yeah. Video doesn't lie.
No.
Well, and a lot of the things that you got to learn can create uncomfortabilities in yourself, because I feel like watching my boys grow up in hockey and watching all the other kids around them that grew up in hockey, kids will get into a habit of their skating because they're not told otherwise. They just skate what feels comfortable to them. And understanding and knowing that the efficiencies they need in order to create a better skater is where you guys come in and intervene in that moment. But that's going to feel really uncomfortable for them, because they're used to doing this and they need to be doing more of this or whatever. I don't know. I'm using that as an example. And you have to break those horrible habits in order to move forward.
And everybody's different too.
Everybody's
Exactly.
different. That's what I was going to say. So how much of skating?
Right. I want to ask a question.
Oh, go for it. Go for
I
it.
know nothing about hockey because I've never watched hockey, and I've always
You
had
come and watch a few games. You're okay.
Yeah,
He gets terrified when they smash
I
into each
remember a date took me to a hockey game, and I went, a hockey game. It's like,
Just gonna remove her from the.
anyway,
I love it. I love the perspective. It's awesome.
But so a couple of questions. So number 1, has this worked successfully? Number 2 is has AI come into play in any way, shape, or form? And who is, Justin asked you, who is the most successful player that has come around and you've definitely succeeded in training?
Well, for the AI side, we haven't seen it really have an impact on the coaching side of things,
Which is nice.
There's a human aspect that you need, that feedback and that connection with a coach. When you develop that trust in a coach, there's a connection there where there's a little bit more buy-in. I think that through a robot or AI, if they were to look at a video of you and break it down,
I would love to see what they say.
Yeah, it's like humans need humans.
I've used Chat GPT out of curiosity. I've used it and said, build me a practice plan, and it did a decent job, but there were a lot of gray areas. It was a very low level, I would say. It was basic, and for a learner, it would be good, but anything getting you up and beyond. There wasn't anything there. The knowledge wasn't there. And I think that's because AI trains itself on what's out there and written down. And there's a lot of stuff that is not out there, and it's all instinct and in your brain to coach and to communicate to the players. So there's that aspect. If that ever caught up, I could see maybe AI. I don't know. AI is scary to me, like all the stuff that it's now.
It is, but you got to remember it's a human sport. It's not like robots are playing the sport, right?
It's a
So
human
humans still
playing,
have to execute.
Yeah.
So
And that's
it's
what's hard. Like when people get criticized, I'm going to go off here a little bit, but like, it's like, these are humans, these are players. Like we interact with them on a day-to-day basis, and then they're getting scrutinized, and it's like, oh, it's just like, you know, maybe, and I know they're the highest level, they're getting paid millions of dollars and they're paid to be perfect, but at the end of the day, they are humans. And it's just, you know, it's tough. But then the other question was players that have come through, right?
Well, yeah, there's fortunately for us, there's been quite a few. Probably the biggest names right now are Darnell Nurse and Evan Bouchard, both on the Oilers. They've been with us since they were young. They started with our dad and then have transitioned into Michelle and I. We just sent Bouchard off to Edmonton last Friday.
Was that the Edmonton Oilers?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Good job.
Bravo.
We have other players like Sam Alfano. He's off at Arizona State. Arizona State University. He was in the OHL and then now has been able to go down to
again, like from young.
Malcolm Spence was just drafted to the New York Rangers. He's gone to Michigan University. Those guys. We've had work with Matthew Schaefer. He just went first overall to the New York Islanders.
Wow.
Yeah, there's lots in it. Like
you must be so proud of yourselves. I mean, you must be.
Well, and Karen, are we allowed to talk about the Toronto Maple Leaf thing? Like, I don't want to. I don't know if you know this, but Michelle actually teaches like the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow.
So I'm in my third season. Well, 3 years. I started near the end of 2022.
And Scarlett was born.
Well, she was 20, April of 2022. So I've just finished 3 years. I'm going into my fourth now, I guess, in season. So I'm there's two of us, skating development coaches in Toronto. So work with the Leafs, work with the Toronto Marlies, which is their feeder team, the AHL team, and then with the prospects. So the prospects are players who are drafted to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but still are playing like junior hockey somewhere. So do a lot of work with them as well to help them become a part of the Leafs organization.
So you know when a team is chasing a cup so badly that they want the best skaters out there and the best training out there, and they hire someone like Michelle.
Let's hope so.
You know, so
we're waiting for it. Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. One thing I will say, I will sort of shift gears slightly here, is the idea of the women's game excelling at such a pace has been unreal to watch.
Yeah,
pain in the ass in the city because all these rinks are taken up by all the girls, which is cool. I get it.
Yeah,
but as a whole, I'm just so blown away by the uptick in female hockey and how strong the game has become, because it wasn't as strong as it is now. And these women are unreal hockey players. It's so cool to see.
I have a very close girlfriend, and her niece is married to one of the top female hockey players. And it's kind of interesting because I met them at a party, and she is a big woman.
Well, they're strong.
She's a strong woman.
Yeah.
And I thought, whoa.
Yeah. It's physical, right? And the female side's getting more physical too.
It is. Yeah.
Even today, their season doesn't start until November. So like a few hours ago, I had 5 girls out here with us training today. So PWHL, so a few of them are drafted, and then a couple of them have invites to camps that are coming up. So they're training right now too. So it's
Great. It's great.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome.
And it's great. It's great to see that for the longest time, the female side of professional hockey just struggled to get off the ground. There was a lot of money issues and funding. And it's great to see that, because now that they are funded and they can make a career out of it. In the past, it was they were playing professional hockey, but they had to have a second job to subsidize if hockey wasn't paying enough. Now these girls can go and play hockey in their off time. They can train and get better, which is going to increase the product on the ice. And they can go to schools, they can go to events, and they can grow the game for themselves. And it's just, for me personally, it feels so good to, when I work with the young girls out on the ice, to be able to say, there's a future in this for you. Like, if you work hard, you can get a scholarship. And after that scholarship, you can go and play professional hockey and you can inspire the next generation. So I really, obviously in the hockey business, we love it, more the merrier. But that it's a feel good thing for me to see the women's side being so successful.
Well, what I like the most about
being
this,
successful coaches, sorry.
that's okay, you do.
Being successful coaches, have you been invited to work for different professional teams on an occasion? Other than of course, you're doing that, Michelle, but have you?
It's more like organizations around. Yeah.
Yeah, we work with different local organizations here, and we are slowly growing. So there's not much we can talk about with that, but there's some things that are coming around and some opportunities that might come.
Yeah.
It's literally a feel-good story of something built out of necessity to foster a dream for his children, that has turned into genuinely like a really great family entrepreneurial story that has created something amazing, right? Like, that's what I love about this story.
Yeah.
And you don't have, you couldn't have had three better people in the two of you and your father to run it and to live it, because when you walk into the rink from experience, and Ryan walks by or Michelle walks by, like Michelle and Ryan have this, they're willing to stop and talk about your kid specifically and about the things. It's not just like, oh, I'm here to coach, and then I go in the room, shut the door, see you later, have a nice day. It's like there is back and forth, there is feedback, there is like the whole thing is these people have passion for this and really enjoy it. And I'll be honest, like I've seen Greg on the ice even lately. He skates like the wind.
Yeah.
The guy is a friggin' beast. Unreal how that guy, and I mean, holy cow, what a guy. And then you guys too. Like I've seen you do the circles on your little rink, and I feel like you're going to go through the wall if you screw up. It's unreal.
Catch an edge.
Confidence.
Yeah.
So, and I still to this day tell my kids when they bitch, especially Ethan, Ryan told you that he hadn't sharpened his skates for like 6 months.
Once a year.
Dig in further.
Just dig into the ice.
I've been thinking lately, like I've been feeling it out there on the ice lately, that I probably need my skates sharpened again. And the last time they were sharpened was September last year.
Oh my God.
Once a year.
So it's the thing for me is if you want an edge, push harder. And now it's body alignment.
It's alignment. It's the alignment down.
But that teaches though, like not everything's going to be perfect in every moment. And especially like when you're a pro, you get the benefit of having new blades put on you right in the middle of the game and all this other stuff. But going up through the system, I joked about this the other day because I was watching the NFL game the other day, and I'm like, that field is perfect. Like they don't have to worry about rolling an ankle on a thing. Like baseball, same thing. Those fields are just perfect in the MLB. I played on fields that I have stitches in my lip because I got hit in the face with a ball that went up on me that shouldn't have. I mean, at the end of the day, like, having that resilience early on and being able to cope with that allows you to be better when the surface is perfect down the road.
And And
So,
Well,
to just go back on touch on what you said earlier about the connection side of it. I that's just our personality in general. We're chatty people, all of us, but I like to make a connection with the kids on the ice. I like to find out, do you have brothers? Do you have sisters? Do you have a test today? Do you got anything coming up? And I find that making that connection, the kids open up to me more, and they're more willing to learn and trust in the process. And I can now push on them harder because they trust me. I know when to push or when to back off, and that type of connection, it's a human thing. Going back to the AI thing, that's the human side of it, where it's just building that bond and connection. You're going to find better success. Everyone's better together than alone.
Totally. Well, we're pushing up against it. We've been just over 30 minutes, and I think this has been amazing and fun and a nice little reunion, and I appreciate every second of it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for
We
coming
appreciate
on. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
You're
Have a good day, everyone.
It's so interesting, and I love to see a family like that work
Yeah.
together.
Well, there are, and the other thing I'll
I
mention
know,
is
I know you probably fight in the background, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody
yeah,
does
I
that.
figured.
Nobody fights.
Who doesn't, right?
She wins.
no, that we'll put all the links for the facility below. And if you're thinking of getting into it, you've got young ones that are just starting, or even high level players that need some support. This is the place to be. I'll tell you right now. Everything my kids have gotten out of hockey, out of the years that we've been there, have been from these folks. My kids wouldn't learn how to skate until they were on their ice, and then they figured it out. And I would suggest that, I don't know where my kids are going to go with it down the road, but they've had a lot of fun along the way. And I attribute a lot of it to the foundation that you guys helped build for us. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But outside of that, yeah, no, we'll put the links below. Check out all the classes and courses and things that they offer.
Yeah.
It's all below, and you can sign up just online very easily. And thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Oh, excuse